WWE Fastlane takes place tonight in Cleveland, Ohio from the Quicken Loans Arena. And on the pre-show right now, you have Jonathan Coachman hosting. You have several guys going in and out. You had David Otunga, Sam Roberts, Christian, Beth Phoenix. You had AJ Styles for a bit. But the best part was when the Iconics came, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. And Peyton is absolutely stunning as a blonde. And she was already gorgeous, but my God, she's just incredible. They went backstage a bit. They showed Kayla Braxton interviewing Mandy Rose, and it was supposed to be a match, the hyper match with Asuka. And instead, EC3 comes and he finally talks, and it's him and Sonya Deville like cutting a promo on each other. And it was, I'm thinking to myself, aren't we supposed to be building up Mandy Rose getting her title match against Asuka? They show Kayla interviewing Kevin Owens later. Just a lot of backstage things, which I'm thinking to myself, when are we going to get to the match? Because I think you have two pre-show matches. You have a New Day match, and then you have Rey and Andrade. Or maybe they scrapped the New Day match because I think you only have time for one now on the pre-show. So we're getting a tag match. They just showed Owens meet with the New Day, and I guess they're just going to move Rey and Andrade to the main show now because they haven't mentioned that. But you have Nakamura and Rusev against the New Day, and to me, this is like a piss break tag team match now. It's kind of funny watching this match. It's basically just a Smackdown match, but I'm more interested to see what's going to go on with Rusev. Him and Lana were out of the company. He had Lana interfere in the match for a bit, but I think Rusev is trying to actually get himself fired. The match ends with the New Day getting the win. It was a decent pre-show style match. So now we are officially getting on the fast lane for the road to WrestleMania. We start the show off with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. You have Miz and Shane getting their rematch against the Usos. So when they come out, Miz gets a very big pop in his hometown. He is very over here. And I'm thinking to myself, you can't turn this guy heel in this place because it's just going to backfire. They'll cheer him. And it was really, really apparent how bad the fans were behind The Miz. And it was a situation where whenever he was in a match, and the match was good, it's not because The Miz is really a great wrestler. It's just because the fans were so into him, and everything he did, the fans were invested in. And when Shane was in there for the majority of the stuff, the fans were not invested in. I think Shane really brought the match down at times. However, Shane doing what Shane does a big spot. The best spot here was you have The Miz down in the middle, then you have one of the Usos in the corner. Looks like Shane's going to do a coast-to-coast, and then the Uso is also on the top rope. He's going to do the Uso splash, and then Shane, what he does is he intercepts one of the Usos and hits him with a drop kick in midair. It was nuts. That was a great plus, just a great spot there. The one thing I didn't like was the ending of the match. It was just like another roll-up. We just saw that the last review. That's it. The Miz goes for a frog splash. He gets Uso gets his knees up. He just rolls him up. That's it. That's all we're going to do. I kind of wish we would have had a better finish. And then the big surprise. They're walking away. They hug the Miz's dad or embracing, and then Shane turns on the Miz. It was a great segment. I thought this was a really good angle. You have to give the WWE credit here. They went as far to have George, the Miz's dad, who did not look concerned at all, by the way, but Shane grabs him by his throat. It was really good. It was a really great heat angle. So I thought they did a really good job. I'm not, huge on seeing the Miz and Shane McMahon wrestle, but I thought this was a very strong angle and really got a lot of heat in the Miz's hometown. The Shane McMahon inverted triangle was fucking horrible. It looked like shit, but I still think it was still an effective angle. So we go to Elias in the ring, and he mocks them. He brings up LeBron James, mocking Cleveland. You have Asuka and Mandy Rose for the SmackDown Women's title up next. So when Mandy and Sonya come out, I should have mentioned this, but they do their entrance. Sonya Deville, like the way she grabs Mandy Rose, it's like she uses that lesbian arm of protection on Mandy Rose. I don't know if people know what that is, but whenever Mandy's, she helps Mandy get up, and then she puts her arm around her. It's like, all right, I'm sure she would not mind doing that in real life, but I don't know. Just not to point that out, but Asuka comes out. I mean, this is really Asuka is losing a lot of steam. She's not, it doesn't feel like as big of a deal. And really here, the thing that's really annoying in this match is it really felt like she was the second fiddle to Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville's breakup storyline, which I don't like. I don't think they should break up. I like them as a team. I thought they were a good team. The match was not good. Mandy Rose was bad here, and she's really not a horrible wrestler at all, but like she could not hang with Asuka. Asuka did not do that good of a job either, but Mandy Rose stunked up the joint here. This was not a good performance for her at all. This was not a good match. I did not enjoy this at all. They had a better match on SmackDown 2 weeks ago. This was a bad match here. I hated the finish. You have Sonya Deville go under the ring. She gets a kendo stick. Looks like she's going to attack Asuka. And what she does is when she lifts up the apron, the ring that covers the apron, Mandy stumbles on it, and then Asuka kicks Mandy's head off and pins her, and that was it. And they teased Mandy walking away from Sonya, so they pretty much they did one breakup, and they teased another in the first 2 matches. And I like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville as a team, so I hope they don't actually split them up. And this is not a good time to split up teams. You have a whole tag division. Why? So they show the New Day backstage with Vince McMahon. They're trying to get Kofi in the match. They do this thing where they get Kofi in a triple threat match, and Vince officially makes it a triple threat. And we have it on. Kofi goes to the ring, and that was basically their setup. And Kofi wouldn't go to the ring just yet, actually. He was standing around looking like a geek, waiting outside Vince McMahon's office until Xavier and Big E convinced him to go. He officially does it, so when Kofi comes out, they just announce it's a handicap match all of a sudden. And then you have the Bar comes out, they destroy Kofi. Xavier and Big E come out, but then Nakamura and Rusev attack them. It's just a horrible match, just horribly set up. Bar destroys Kofi. It's just, we know what they're trying to do. This sucked. This was fucking horrible. They show Charlie Caruso backstage. She interviews Sasha Banks and Bayley. And I have to say, Sasha Banks looks great tonight. She looked really, really good. As she always does anyway, but she looked really good tonight. They cut a promo. I think they're going to build up to a multi-person tag match or something like a fatal 4-way tag match. I want to see Sasha and Bayley take on Trish and Lita, but we're not getting that. Elias is out there again. He rips the Cleveland Browns. Does the same stuff. They show Kayla Braxton trying to introduce Shane McMahon. He says nothing. So next you have the Raw Tag Team title match. You have the Revival against Ricochet against Aleister Black and Chad Gable. Ricochet and Black, and then Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Here, this was a good match. The crowd wasn't too into it, but I think they like Ricochet and Black. I don't think they should be a team, but they're a good. They're both really good, but I don't think they fit each other. The one big spot was a massive botch by Ricochet. He tries to do this Frankensteiner on the outside. I think it was one of the guys from Revival, and instead he lands on the apron and looked nasty. It looked like both guys got hurt. It was a massive botch, and it was really, really ugly, and it looked really bad for both guys. You have the Revival pinning the Rude, or was it Rude? I don't remember if it was Rude or Gable, but they get the pin there, and then there's a huge brawl after. Revival gets knocked out, and then it ends with Aleister Black and Ricochet standing tall. So every match is on the show, so we've had 4 matches so far. Every single match is an angle. It's building up to an angle. We've had nothing definitive. I know this is just a show this is basically just a setup for WrestleMania, but it's really apparent how little this pay-per-view means when every single thing is just setting stuff up. But this was, again, another setup match. It looks like they might give Black and Ricochet a big match. Maybe they win the tag titles at WrestleMania. So I haven't been paying much attention to the pre-show because that's when it was announced that we're going to have a U.S. title fatal 4-way match. So I was thinking to myself, what the hell happened? It was Samoa Joe, R-Truth, Rey Mysterio, and Andrade. What happened was you had Carmella and Zelina Vega argue on the pre-show, and then they fight in this match too. So if it boils over, if all 4 of these guys, it almost turned into 2 matches. You had Joe and Ray in the ring, and then you had Andrade and R-Truth on the outside. And it looks like they're doing some sort of mixed tag program, maybe R-Truth and Carmella against Zelina Vega and Andrade. But you can't do it at WrestleMania, but it looks like that's where they're going because they kept having Carmella and Zelina fight, and that match would be terrible. And I love Zelina Vega, but my God, no one wants to watch that match. They had them fight on the outside, and they're distracted, and just it ends with Joe pinning Ray. It was a good match. You had a lot of fun spots here, but it was just I don't like how their feud kind of overshadowed the match. But Joe retains the title. It looks like him and John Cena at WrestleMania. Next, we got the women's tag team titles. Bayley and Sasha Banks defending against Nia Jax and Tamina. And another setup match. So all the matches have been set up. This is a setup for some sort of fatal 4-way tag team match at WrestleMania. I think it's pretty apparent that's where they're heading. You had Nia and Tamina. Nia dominated for a while, and then Bayley and Sasha made her come back. And I was like, all right, they're going to have Tamina and Nia win because Bayley and Sasha start to take over. But then Bayley and Sasha just pinned Nia Jax. I think Bayley pins Nia here. She pins her with a roll-up. I'm thinking to myself, that's it. They work really hard, but Nia Jax was so sloppy. She's so out of shape. She's just moving so slow. It was really clunky. It's all her. She was horrible here. Bayley was working hard too, but Tamina's just not good. She just sucks. She's been there for so long. She just says nothing. They held the match down. I thought Sasha and Bayley did the best they could with these two, but they're both horrible. And after the match, Nia and Tamina destroy Bayley and Sasha. Tamina kicks Bayley in the face, and then Nia Jax almost kills Sasha Banks. She throws her over the announce table, and Sasha her body just splats to the ground. I was like to myself, she is going to fucking die. What the fuck is wrong with Sasha Banks? Is she trying to get killed? Her body hits the floor with, it's horrible. Then they do this thing with Beth Phoenix. She was on commentary. You have Nia Jax attack Beth, and then Natalya comes out. They beat down Beth. They beat down Natalya. Nia and Tamina stands tall. They suck. But I think we're going to get, Natty and Beth. You'll have that. You have Nia and Tamina, Bayley and Sasha, and one other team. I don't know. Maybe an NXT team. Maybe the Iconics from SmackDown. I don't know where they're going, but that's what we're setting. I also wanted to mention Pat McAfee was doing this hosting party, like this watch party. He had a whole bunch of guests. He had a lot of women there. He had the Iconics. He had Kathy Kelly there, and he had Alexa Bliss there. She was there earlier on. That guy's actually pretty entertaining. Next, we go to the WWE Championship, and I was thinking to myself, why is this so early in the show? This should probably be the main event, but the way they set up the show, it's probably best to go with the way they booked it. So you have Mustafa Ali making it a triple threat. Kofi is not going to be available. They announced it's Mustafa Ali. Out of nowhere, he comes out and he gets a bad reaction. And I was almost reminding of Daniel Bryan in the 2014 Royal Rumble when he never came out. It's quite ironic that he was in the ring, because remember it was Rey Mysterio, number 30, and the fans just booed the hell out of him. This was what it was like to be Mustafa Ali. But holy fuck, this guy worked his fucking ass off. Mustafa Ali tore it down. He was the star of this match. Daniel Bryan's great and Kevin Owens is great, but Mustafa Ali was this match. This was his best performance on the main roster. He slowly won the fans over, even though they kept chanting for Kofi over and over during the match. They did a lot of spots. Daniel Bryan almost kills him early when he kicks him, and Ali just goes crashing to the ground. I can't remember, Ali did so many crazy shit here. He's doing backflips, landing on his feet. He's just taking insane bumps. The last bump was scary. It was like he's jumps off the top rope, and Daniel Bryan hits him midair with a running knee and pins him. It was just nasty. Mustafa Ali tore it up here. They could go a fatal for it at WrestleMania. Kofi's going to get the match. He'll probably win the title at WrestleMania, but there was so many crazy spots here. This match was excellent. This was the best match of the night. I loved it. Daniel Bryan retains his title, and it looks like probably him and Kofi, but Ali was just great here. Next was I'd say the worst. Maybe not worse than the handicap match, but this was a fucking shit show, this next match, and this is really unfortunate because they're building to WrestleMania, they're building to this match being the main event, a triple threat, and this was a horrible booked match. This was fucking terrible. So it's Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Charlotte comes out first, then Becky. Fans are still into Becky, and I'm so sick of Becky selling her knee injury. She has to use the crutches. I am so fucking sick of seeing those goddamn crutches. And stop it. Stop fucking selling this damn knee injury. She's had a bad knee since the Royal Rumble. It's been 6 weeks. I'm so tired of it. Can we just get over this damn knee injury? Anyway, this whole thing with Charlotte, they're selling it like Becky has a torn ACL, so they have Charlotte destroy Becky's knee. She's all over her knee. She works over it the whole match. It was basically a squash match for a while. Becky finally gets him off, and she gets her into Summer to short reverses. She gets into her into figure 8. Ronda Rousey comes sprinting down the ring. It's like, holy fuck, she's fat. She's a great athlete. But she's sprinting down. She attacks Becky, and the refs looks confused. He calls the bell, and it's official. Becky wins by DQ because Ronda attacked her. Charlotte loses by disqualification. So that's it. It's a triple threat. It should be Becky and Ronda. It should be just them in a singles match. You didn't need to add Charlotte, but she brought this down. This was unnecessary. Becky did not look strong at all here. She looked bad. This is the worst she's looked in a while. It's looked stupid. But that's it. We got our main event. This is a horribly booked segment. Fuck. At least we're here. We got our main event for WrestleMania. Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, triple threat. Okay, let's just move on. They have Elias out again, and it's like, oh, stop it. But finally they have Lacey Evans, who comes out, and she's probably going to beat Asuka at WrestleMania. She's fucking horrible. But then all of a sudden, Orton hits Elias with an RKO, then AJ hits the Phenomenal Forearm, and that's a cool way to start AJ and Randy Orton. So another setup match. Every single match has been a setup match. Everything. Every match. And the next match. This was actually the most definitive match. Shield against McIntyre, Corbin, and Lashley. This got a lot of time. The way it was booked, this was probably best to be the main event. Roman Reigns' big return. Fans were into this. I was a little bit tired. It's been a long show, but they did a lot of cool spots here. This felt like one of those old Shield matches from when they first debuted. They had all those early matches. This was definitely a throwback to that. This definitely felt like that style of match in which Reigns works in the ring for a while, then Rollins does all the crazy dives, and Ambrose is the brawler, and Reigns is the power guy. He gets the hot tag. This is like the original Shield matches. You had a lot of cool parts. You had a powerbomb through the announce table. Rollins is killing himself. There's a cool curb stop onto Lashley. Finally, the match ends. You have the Shield hit the triple powerbomb to Baron Corbin. They stand tall, and they really brought up Dean Ambrose leaving, and the ending of the show was the Shield standing tall, and it really was something in which it's obvious Dean Ambrose is staying with the WWE. I think it's probably Reigns and Ambrose at WrestleMania, but they did a really good job here, and they made it look like this was the last of the Shield. They finally stood tall. They did a really good moment, but a lot more to come with the Shield.